James was 67 when he realized something fundamental had changed in his life. It was not pain that worried him. It was not a specific illness. It was something far more subtle and infinitely harder to explain to others. Every single morning, regardless of how many hours he had spent in bed, James would wake up feeling completely drained. His eyelids felt like they were made of lead. His legs moved like they were underwater. His mind seemed wrapped in a thick fog that never quite lifted. When his wife Susan would gently ask over breakfast, "How are you feeling today, honey?" James would give the same weary response. "Just tired, I guess." If you are over 60, you might recognize that bone-deep exhaustion. The kind of fatigue that does not disappear no matter how much you rest, how early you go to bed, or how many cups of coffee you drink. According to Harvard Health Publishing, nearly 40% of adults over 65 struggle with persistent fatigue that affects their daily activities and overall quality of life. Today we are sharing James' remarkable transformation story. How he conquered chronic fatigue without relying on medications or expensive treatments, using simple science-backed lifestyle adjustments that could restore your energy too. Welcome to Senior Health Facts, your trusted home for practical evidence-based wellness guidance designed specifically for adults over 60. If reclaiming your energy and living each day with vitality matters to you, hit that subscribe button and let us begin this important journey together. Chronic fatigue is not simply feeling tired after a busy day. It is a persistent energy drain that slowly steals your independence and joy. Research from the National Institute on Aging reveals that approximately 1 in 3 seniors experience ongoing fatigue that significantly impacts their daily functioning. This is not just inconvenient. It poses serious risks to your health and safety. Persistent fatigue in older adults has been directly linked to increased risk of dangerous falls and injuries, slower reaction times while driving or navigating stairs, progressive memory problems and mental confusion, mood changes including depression and social withdrawal, growing dependence on family members for basic tasks, and reduced participation in activities that once brought pleasure. But why does this happen as we age? The aging process brings several invisible changes that compound over time. Our muscle mass naturally decreases by 3 to 8% per decade after age 30, meaning our bodies work harder to perform the same tasks. Hormonal shifts, particularly declining growth hormone and testosterone levels, directly affect our energy production and sleep quality. Additionally, common health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis create a constant low-level stress on our systems. Even seemingly healthy habits like that afternoon coffee or evening snack can unknowingly sabotage our rest and recovery. Perhaps most overlooked of all, social isolation and loneliness create an emotional drain that manifests as physical exhaustion. When James finally confided in his family doctor about feeling like he was running on empty every single day, Dr. Martinez told him something that changed everything. "James, your fatigue is absolutely real, but it does not have to be your permanent reality." That simple statement gave James permission to hope again, and the motivation to take action. James decided to become a detective in his own life, carefully examining his daily habits and routines. What he discovered surprised him, and might surprise you too. Let me share the first energy thief James discovered. Every afternoon, like clockwork, James would brew a fresh cup of coffee to combat the post-lunch energy dip. "I thought I needed it to stay alert for the rest of the day," James recalls. What he did not realize is that caffeine has a half-life of 6 to 8 hours in older adults. The Mayo Clinic confirms that afternoon caffeine can significantly delay deep sleep cycles, even when you fall asleep at your normal bedtime. James' body was getting sleep hours, but not the restorative energy rebuilding sleep he desperately needed. The second energy thief was equally sneaky. James prided himself on avoiding obvious junk food, but he regularly reached for granola bars, fruit juices, and dried fruit mixes, thinking they were nutritious choices. These seemingly healthy snacks contained hidden sugars that caused his blood glucose to spike rapidly, followed by dramatic crashes. This roller coaster left him feeling wired and anxious initially, then completely wiped out within an hour. I would feel great for maybe 20 minutes. James remembers. Then I would crash harder than before. The third energy thief caught James completely off guard. Because James felt constantly tired, he assumed his body needed more rest. So he began taking longer afternoon naps, sitting more throughout the day, and avoiding physical activities. But research shows this creates a vicious cycle. The less we move, the weaker our muscles become, and the more exhausted we feel. James had unknowingly trapped himself in a pattern of inactivity, leading to increased fatigue. The fourth energy thief was information overload. James spent hours each day watching news and scrolling through worrying headlines on his tablet. The constant stream of negative information created chronic stress and mental exhaustion. I did not realize how much that worry was draining my energy, he later reflected. Finally, James discovered the fifth energy thief was his irregular sleep schedule. James went to bed and woke up at different times each day, thinking flexibility was a retirement benefit. However, irregular sleep patterns confuse our internal body clock, making quality sleep nearly impossible. Have you fallen into any of these energy traps? James' transformation began when he replaced these energy-draining habits with 5 simple, scientifically supported changes. James did not overhaul his entire life overnight. Instead, he made gradual, sustainable changes that accumulated into a remarkable transformation. Here is exactly what worked for him, and what research suggests could work for you too. The first step was establishing sacred sleep rhythms. James committed to going to bed and waking up at exactly the same time every single day, including weekends. He created an evening wind-down routine by dimming lights after 8 p.m., switching off news and stressful television, and playing soft classical music instead. He also lowered his bedroom thermostat to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. The first week was hard, James admits, but by week 3 I was falling asleep faster and waking up actually refreshed. Harvard sleep medicine research confirms that consistent sleep schedules help seniors achieve deeper, more restorative sleep cycles, leading to significantly improved daytime energy. Step 2 involved stable energy through smart nutrition. Instead of reaching for quick-fix snacks, James switched to combinations that provided steady fuel. Apple slices with almond butter, hard-boiled eggs with a small piece of whole-grain toast or a handful of mixed nuts. For dinner, he increased his intake of lean proteins and leafy greens. Salmon with spinach became a weekly favorite. This helped stabilize his blood sugar throughout the night, reducing those disruptive 3 a.m. wake-ups. I stopped having that awful afternoon crash. James notes, My energy felt steady instead of up and down all day. The third step was treating movement as medicine. James did not join a gym or start an intense exercise program. He simply committed to a 15-minute walk around his neighborhood each morning. Initially, even this felt challenging. But by the second week, something shifted. Moving my body actually gave me energy instead of draining it. James discovered, I felt like I was charging my battery rather than depleting it. The CDC confirms that just 150 minutes of moderate activity per week can significantly improve energy levels, circulation, and mood in older adults. James' morning walks provided exactly this benefit. Step 4 introduced stress-busting micro-breaks. James learned to pause and reset when he felt overwhelmed or mentally drained. His go-to technique became 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale slowly for 4 counts. Hold for 7 counts. Exhale completely for 8 counts. Repeat 3 times. This simple practice helped calm his nervous system and restored mental clarity without requiring caffeine or stimulants. Perhaps most importantly, Step 5 involved rekindling social energy. James stopped isolating himself. He scheduled weekly phone calls with his brother in Arizona. He joined a morning walking group at the community center. He even started having coffee dates with old colleagues. I did not realize how much loneliness was exhausting me, James reflects. Being around people I enjoyed actually energized me. Research from the NIH confirms that regular social interaction can improve energy levels, reduce stress hormones, and boost immune function in older adults. Now, after 8 weeks of these changes, James' transformation was obvious to everyone around him. "You look brighter," his neighbor commented. "You seem like the old James again." And he truly was. James' story represents hope for every person over 60 who feels trapped by persistent fatigue. At 67 years old, James did not need expensive supplements. He did not require a complete life overhaul. He did not have to just accept feeling tired all the time. He made 5 thoughtful, sustainable changes that accumulated into something transformative. Today, James wakes up refreshed. He has energy for his morning walks, afternoon projects, and evening conversations with Susan. His mind feels clear, his body feels capable, and his spirit feels renewed. You deserve this same transformation. You deserve to wake up feeling ready for your day instead of dreading it. You deserve to have energy for the people and activities that matter most to you. Here is your gentle challenge inspired by James' journey. Choose just one of these 5 energy-restoring steps. Start tomorrow. Maybe it is taking that 15-minute morning walk. Perhaps it is calling a friend you have not spoken with in weeks. It could be as simple as switching your afternoon granola bar for apple slices with peanut butter. Small, consistent steps create big, lasting changes. Your energy restoration journey begins with a single intentional choice. Ready to reclaim your vitality? Comment, "I am starting tomorrow" below, and let our Senior Health Facts community support your transformation. Remember, you are not alone in this journey, and you are stronger than you know. Let me address some of the most common questions we receive about senior fatigue. Many people wonder if feeling constantly tired is just a normal part of getting older. While some energy changes are natural with aging, chronic fatigue that interferes with daily activities is not normal and is often manageable. Many causes are treatable through lifestyle modifications, medical evaluations, or addressing underlying conditions. Another frequent concern is whether prescription medications might be causing fatigue. Absolutely, they can. Many common medications, including blood pressure drugs, antihistamines, antidepressants, and pain medications, can cause fatigue as a side effect. Schedule a medication review with your doctor or pharmacist to discuss alternatives. People often ask how much water they should drink to improve energy. Mild dehydration is a common but overlooked cause of fatigue in seniors. Aim for 8 glasses of water throughout the day, sipping regularly even if you do not feel thirsty. Your urine should be light yellow, not dark. There is confusion about whether afternoon naps are helpful or harmful. Short naps of 20 to 30 minutes before 3 p.m. can be refreshing. However, longer naps or late afternoon rest can interfere with nighttime sleep, creating a cycle of poor rest and increased fatigue. Many wonder if emotional stress can really cause physical exhaustion. Yes, it absolutely can. Chronic worry, grief, or anxiety consumes significant mental and physical energy. Emotional fatigue is as real as physical tiredness, which is why social connection and stress management are crucial components of energy restoration. Finally, people question whether it is safe to exercise when feeling so tired. Generally, yes, but start very slowly. Even 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement can boost circulation and energy. However, sudden, severe fatigue should be evaluated by your healthcare provider first. Let me share the complete transformation guide that changed James' life. Instead of drinking coffee after 2 p.m., which disrupts deep sleep cycles, James switched to herbal tea water or decaf. This simple change led to better sleep quality and refreshed mornings. Rather than reaching for sugary, healthy snacks that cause blood sugar spikes and crashes, he chose apple with nut butter or boiled eggs. This provided steady energy without afternoon crashes. James eliminated those long afternoon naps that were disrupting his nighttime sleep. Instead, he took 15-minute walks or practiced breathing exercises. This created natural sleepiness at proper bedtime. He stopped spending all day sitting, which weakens muscles and reduces circulation. James added short walks and gentle stretching throughout the day. This improved his stamina and joint mobility significantly. Most importantly, James overcame social isolation, which creates emotional drain and increased stress. He scheduled weekly social activities and regular phone calls. This boosted his mood and provided natural energy. James replaced his irregular bedtimes that confused his internal body clock. He maintained the same sleep and wake time daily. This resulted in deeper, more restorative sleep. Finally, he limited his stressful news consumption that caused mental exhaustion and chronic worry. James chose positive content instead. This reduced anxiety and improved mental clarity. Here is James' daily energy-building routine that you can follow. Each morning, he drinks a full glass of water upon waking, takes a 15-minute outdoor walk, and eats a protein-rich breakfast with eggs, Greek yogurt, or oatmeal with nuts. At midday, James enjoys a balanced lunch with lean protein and vegetables, connects with someone he cares about through a call, text, or visit, and practices 5 minutes of deep breathing if feeling stressed. During afternoon hours, he stops all caffeine consumption after 2 p.m., chooses energy-stable snacks like nuts or cheese with crackers, and avoids naps longer than 20 minutes. Each evening, James eats a light dinner 3 hours before bedtime, begins winding down with dim lighting and calming activities, and goes to bed at the same time every night. As weekly bonuses, he schedules one social activity he genuinely enjoys, takes a news break for at least one full day, and keeps a simple energy journal noting what helps and what hurts. When speaking with your doctor, consider asking these important questions. Could any of my current medications be contributing to my fatigue? Should we run blood tests to check for underlying causes of my tiredness? Is gentle daily exercise safe and beneficial given my current health status? Are there any medical conditions we should investigate related to my energy levels? Save this transformation guide by taking a screenshot and share it with someone who might benefit from James' energy restoration journey. Before we conclude, here is an important reminder about the information we have shared today. Everything in James' story and our discussion is provided for educational purposes only. Our goal is to share research-backed insights that may help you make informed decisions about your health and lifestyle. However, this information should never replace personalized medical advice from your healthcare provider. Please consult with your doctor, nurse practitioner, or healthcare team before making significant changes to your sleep routine, exercise habits, diet, or medications. Especially if you manage conditions like diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, or take prescription medications. James' experience is genuine and inspiring, but every person's health journey is unique. What worked wonderfully for James may need modifications for your specific situation, medical history, and current medications. Your healthcare providers know your personal health story best and can guide you toward the safest, most effective approaches for your individual needs. Think of your medical team as partners in your energy restoration journey. They want to see you thriving just as much as you do. With the right support information and gradual changes, you can feel more energetic, engaged, and optimistic about each new day. Take care of yourself. You are worth the investment. And we will see you in the next Senior Health Facts video.